Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to solve this 3x3 magic bead cube that MFJS just came out with. Just a couple prerequisites before we officially get started. So you will have to know how to solve a 3x3 before this tutorial. I'm not going to go over how to solve the 3x3 stage. That will be something you can look at in another video. There's plenty of good ones on YouTube. Well, yeah, I guess that's really the only prerequisite. So let's get this scrambled up and we'll just kind of get started. So a couple things to watch out for as you're solving this cube are making sure that all of the balls are aligned. So if everything's aligned, the cube will turn very smoothly. But if anything's slightly off, let's say that blue ball there is kind of in the middle. Well, that time it actually worked. But sometimes if not everything's perfectly in line, it may not turn properly. So you have to be careful to make sure everything's aligned. Sometimes just kind of shaking it back and forth will help. So if I just get a couple of these moved around, yeah, if you just kind of shake it back and forth, that'll help to get it aligned. So that's just a little trick, even not related to solving that does help out. So now that this is fully scrambled, what I do to solve this cube is first off just by solving it like a normal 3x3. So like I said, I won't really go into a whole lot of detail there. Your centers are basically pretty normal, your corners are normal, but the part that gets a little bit trippy, I guess, is that this kind of whole block is your edge. Right now, don't worry about the beads in the middle. We'll get to those later, but we're just going to solve this like a normal 3x3. So I'll kind of speed through this part. I'm not going to go too in depth with it, but after I'm done, we'll continue through and figure out how to solve this cube. All right, just like that, we are solved like a 3x3. There have been a couple times where I've finished the solve and it looks like there's parity, but it ended up being that my centers were messed up because I kind of forgot where they were at. So just make sure you have, your edges lined up with your centers and you should be fine. So the way I like to go about solving this is I will complete a full center at a time. I like to try to do the white and the yellow first, or whatever has the biggest block. What that helps with is once the white and the yellow side are complete, then we don't have to rotate the cube side to side. We can just rotate it kind of like this, looking for the rest of the pieces. So we'll rotate the cube around, seeing where our white pieces are. And right here we have 3 already in the center for the white. So what we'll want to do is connect those together and kind of form as much of a block as we can on that side. So in order to do that, what we do is we'll bring the first white ball and we'll put it right along the edge here for this corner. So we'll turn down and then we'll rotate the next white piece over until it is next to that. So it'll be the right edge of this edge, and then we'll rotate up. So all that did was shift everything around so that these 2 white pieces were connected. So similarly, we have this white piece here. We want to connect it to these 2. So I'll rotate it over. So the edge of this kind of white block of beads is on the edge of this corner. We'll go down, rotate over, and back up. So there, we have 3 white pieces. Now, there's no more on this white face, so we'll look elsewhere to see where we have white beads, and we have a couple here. So with this, what we want to do is, because we're going to be moving up from the red side, we'll get the white pieces aligned with the edge of this edge, and then from there, we'll get the white piece and put it on the red corner, and that allows us, when we rotate up, oh, it moved out of the way. So if I get that on the right edge there and rotate up, it attaches those to the rest of the edge pieces. I can move back and get it out of the way and then come down. So we have another white piece here. We'll just do the same thing. Rotate it until it's along the edge of the red. Make sure these are aligned. Come up and connect it. Move over and back down. So here I have more white beads around here. So I'm going to want to try to connect those. So we'll get the right on the edge, down, move over, and back up, and got those connected. And then we have more here. So we'll get that aligned, down, over, and back. And then we have that big block here. So honestly, we'll probably go down, connect that with the rest of the group, and then come back up. Got another white piece here. So bring this over, get aligned, down, over, and up. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. We're gonna have to change our strategy a little bit, just because if we try to go down, over, and up, you see how it disconnects these white pieces. So instead of inserting down in, we'll actually be coming up, inserting into the slot, and then coming back down. So to explain, we kind of have these three pieces here. So I'll get this aligned where I have the white going along the bottom of the edge. Then I'll bring these to the side, and I want to connect these first before I try to put them in. So I'll go down, align these pieces, and come back up. And then in order to insert them into here, I'll just align those to the left, and they could really be anywhere, but I'll come up, slide them in, and then come back down. So we only have 3 white pieces left. See where those are at. They're all here on the blue side. So I'm going to rotate my white until I get this bead all the way up against the right side of this edge. So if I'm moving up, I'm not messing around with that. These pieces are going to move around a little bit, but we want that to stay stationary. So first, we're going to want to put these white pieces together. In order to do that, because the yellow side isn't solved yet, we will be going down and then making our moves, so that doesn't mess with the rest of our white pieces. So I'll come to the first one that's all the way on the right. We'll go down, slide it over, and back up, so that gets the 2 connected. We'll come back here, down, over, and up, and now we have the 3 beads connected. And we're going to want to slide this to the edge, kind of like we had before. And by having these in the correct position, this bead's not going to move if we move up with our right side. By moving up, that connects the rest of our white beads together. So when we slide over and come down, we have the entire white side solved. So now that we have the white side solved, I'm going to focus on the yellow. We're going to start with that next, and that makes it easier getting the rest of the pieces. So we'll just connect these 2 together. We had another yellow piece come in, so I'll just bring it over to the edge of the corner, come down, rotate this one around, come back up. We don't have any more yellows on here, so we'll look around to see what we got. Got a decent amount on this orange side, so we're just going to start connecting some of those. We can even come through here and insert this down in. Ooh, if it wants to align. Yep, so insert it like that. Come over, back up. It really is up to your preference how you want to go through and solve the beads. In some situations, it's easier to raise and then bring your beads over and come back down, which gets them in there. Or sometimes you're better off coming down, rotating, and then bringing that back up. So we'll just continue going through, looking for pieces. So we want to get this full left side solved before we start working on the right side. So from here over. So we've got a couple pieces here. Just insert that, come over, excuse me, put that in. So now we're going to look over here, and we will get these beads put together. So I'm going to come up and down. Notice how I'm coming up. I want to do that because if I go down, then we get our white messed up. So after you have your white face solved, you always want to come up when you're doing your first move and then move your beads around and get your pieces connected. So just keep going through here. I'm still honestly trying to figure out my own finger tricks for the cube, because I feel like sometimes it's hard to get the beads aligned, but I kind of use this index finger to move everything around, and if everything's aligned, it actually moves fairly well. So there we have the white and the yellow faces complete. I'll just go and move on to, looks like a bunch of these blues are actually together, so I'll just try to get some of those connected. They don't always have to be right in the blue right out the get-go. If I come up and rotate all those in, and just rotate back down, got a decent amount of the blue side finished. So I'll go through and connect some of these together with that. Piece there. Some of this is just figuring out as you go on. You start to learn what works and what doesn't, which just comes with practice. But once you get the basics, you can start working on your own method and go from there. In terms of a advanced versus beginner method, I'm not sure if a more advanced version will come out. I feel like this is as beginner as you can get. It's really just kind of connecting all your beads together and moving them down. There's a couple, no-nos that you don't want to do. That'll mess up your beads. But besides that, it's really not too bad. It's a great beginner cube. If you know how to solve a 3x3. So if you know how to solve a 3x3, this honestly isn't too bad. I was worried that there was going to be a parity with it. Actually, since we're right here, here's an example of something that kind of tripped me up when I first started. Whenever you have just one piece left that you want to solve, you want to make sure it's on the edge of the corner, and you want to put the next piece somewhere along the right edge, whether that's here or if it's kind of this over this green piece. So when you come up and you rotate over, everything is connected. All right, we're on the last two here. It looks like a lot of this red is connected, so I'll just go through and align some of those. Got a big block there, and here, what do I want to do? I'm kind of go down, bring that over, and I'll start getting some of these attached. So just over, down. It's very satisfying as you go through and start connecting everything. Got a pretty big block there, so just come over and bring that down. And we are on to the final piece. So we've got everything lined up. Over, and there we go. That is how you solve the 3x3 Magic Bead Cube. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what kind of times you get. I think I'm averaging around like 5 minutes with this when I'm trying to speed solve it. But honestly, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to pass the time, and it's a really interesting cube. So yeah, thanks guys. Can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.